to the channel. My name is Crawford and this is Virginia's for Lowriders. I'm probably going to say that again here in a few minutes because I actually shot an intro already, but last night I realized that I missed recording a couple things, so I figured I'd say that in the beginning of this. And like I said last week, we're trying to put some miles down on the truck because we have an hour-long drive to get to a show next weekend. So I'm trying to keep it within like a 30-ish mile radius of my house and do a couple runs to a couple different parts stores. We get gas, like normal things. Last night I went over and nut and bolt checked everything. Didn't find anything loose. I found one bolt that was missing, but didn't find anything loose other than that. So if you've never been here before, we're building the 80s Mazda. There is we're almost up to 70 videos now. It's a lot, but we're gonna get some work done this week, and we're gonna do some cruising, and because that's what it's all about. I wanted to go on cruises all of this week. That was the plan, but there's been these tornado warnings and monsoons and potential really bad stuff all week, so I haven't had a chance to do that. It's been raining at my house at least every single day this week except for Monday, and I was busy on Monday, so it didn't matter. So we're making up for lost time today. Just like last week, we're doing a little scrambling. We're trying to get something done to where we can take the Mazda project to a semi-local-ish show. It's about an hour away from us, so we need to get this thing to where, again, it resembles more of a truck. Put the grill back in. We're going to try and get the roll pan further along. We have a lot of things to do. James is showing up, so hopefully we can actually get some work done and not talk the entire time and basically waste the night again. So we're going to try and get something done. Let's see what happens. Well, instead of working on it right away, we decided to go for a cruise to the gas station for its first gas station fill up in like a year and a half. And like I figured, the filler neck being in the way that it is, it feels really, really slow. But I think we're going to go back to the house and try and come up with the roll pan, at least self-tap it to the truck for now or something. Did pretty good though. We're about, I don't know how far away? 10-ish miles, 12 miles. Maybe we'll get James to shoot some rollers for me before we leave.
Hi guys, welcome back to the channel.
Hey, what's up? Alright, we are back at the house, and it's been like 2 hours and we haven't done anything, which is normally the case. We're gonna see, because I don't remember, because I bought this tailgate like 6 months ago. I don't remember if it has hinges on it. But this brand new Chinese, and there are no hinges attached to it. So we're gonna have to.
At least it has the threads in it.
It is threaded. So we're gonna at least have to transfer over stuff, or we're just gonna put an old tailgate on it for now because this doesn't technically have paint on it. Sort of does, but this is really just a primer. I'm gonna go fish another tailgate out of the backyard in the dark. So I got the other tailgate out of the backyard, and apparently there's a difference in quality because this thing is very heavy compared to the Chinesium one that I just got. We're gonna take it apart and transfer over all of the stuff. Pretty sure somebody's tried to take this apart already, and most likely, oh, we might get lucky. Oh. This?
Oh, that thing is dented.
I told you it was messed up. The whole center, well, that and the trash can.
Oh, I see it now.
Yeah, it's in the middle. There's a wood truck.
What if you think we could push it out? You can put some bags in there and push the dent out, and then just rock it for now.
I feel like I'm already invested. I'm just gonna
let's
transfer.
just do it. Don't let me talk you down.
Just doing it, man.
Yeah, I want you to tell your subscribers about. It's got enough thread on there. Makes a really nice detailed switch box holder. Yeah,
No.
3 link.
Me saying it had enough thread on there, it was all like there was this much bolt that it was threaded on.
Yeah, but you didn't like ass tight it.
I put a lot of beans in it. Potentially a full can.
Full can of beans?
It's probably not the best idea on my part to leave this laying on the ground for the last year. How does this work?
There you go. Oh,
Nope, that's in the trash. Yeah.
are you missing the bolts for this one?
No, I took them out.
Oh, I didn't.
I'm so fast, man. I'm like a ninja. Watch out.
Do you like to listen to music while you watch TV?
Because I like to party.
It reminded me back in the day.
Why would you need to turn up the radio?
We used to play pool like in the basement and like had the football game on, like my uncle come down, but they'd be playing music. Like when I saw that video, that's my uncle on my dad. Like music playing, football games on, but you can't hear what's going on. You just see what's going on.
I can remove anything if it doesn't look.
I'm slowly talking you out of this.
Some of my ideas, like I like
I
that.
do like that, but you know what I'm thinking?
I could even make it there where it goes in the middle of it.
I was thinking about that, Christopher. If you don't use it, that looks like it fit perfect on this thing. As well.
I don't think
And it's already pre-pabbed.
it's not safe. It has kinks in it from Andy. They didn't give you much room to work with here.
Do you need help with my feet?
I need a lot of help. Not with this.
Mentally? Oh, it fits like a glove.
Bingo.
Is it? Probably. Oh, the handle's not seated.
No, yeah, it's not in there all the way. Go ahead and let all the bugs in. I didn't realize how late it is. It's like 1 o'clock.
Oh, we're living our early 20s.
I know. We're going to be living our mid-30s tomorrow morning.
I'm just thinking.
Hurting in the morning. That's probably good. Maybe. We drove 25 miles tonight.
Yeah.
With a TIG rod. Just
That's how nice the
yeah,
truck
the
rides.
top-notch quality work that we put into the truck.
I did a lot.
Yeah, you did a moral support. Ooh, those are nice and crusty. After sitting halfway threaded in.
Oh yeah, when you were under the truck, I stuck my hand on it. It's like,
Oh yeah.
and I was like, oh, I shouldn't do that.
Not much
Oh,
weight.
once you tie this in though, it'll stiffen it
Oh
up.
yeah, and the roll pan.
That's minor. I'm 6 feet from the edge. What I'm thinking.
And I'm thinking
Maybe 6 feet. It's so far down.
I don't know. It's so flimsy.
I bet if you start the truck, all it hit in the back.
More so than it already does. I don't think these are supposed to be outside in the elements. Oh, they're structural for sure. And the roll pan covers up half the tailgate. That's cool. Might not be getting any of the top lip.
Oh, I'm looking at that. You don't want to rip it out and redo it?
I'd rather not. And you can see how much we gotta trim. This is the tailgate. So it's basically gonna be, I don't think my Sharpie's working. Oh, it is. Somewhere in this range, all of this has to come off. I was gonna do something creative with the hinges, but I really don't have time to do all that, so I think we're just gonna leave them on there. Plus this thing's really flimsy, so we got a lot of hurdles to get over with this. So there's unforeseen roadblocks in this. I knew that the hinges were gonna make it stick out. I already accounted for that, and I was cool with it. It looks really cool. Like it fits the truck. The truck looks like a 90s Explorer with the taillights painted like this, but it looks pretty cool. The issue that I didn't take into account, this is the factory tag bracket. From the factory, that I'll try and post a picture of this, that bed kicks in and the roll pan is actually recessed behind the tailgate. I don't have it like that anymore, and I put this edge way too close to the tailgate to the point where I'm gonna have to cut this whole lip off and come up with something that doesn't look like crap. So that's what we're trying to brainstorm now, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning because we've been staring at this. But it looks cool so far. If only I could just leave the Clecos on there, we'd be good. I don't know if it's a good idea, but I'm going to take it off and trim around the hinges and potentially ruin the whole panel. But it's okay, because it's just sheet metal. And we'll just make another one if we have to. It's a lot. I don't know if the camera picks it up, but you see here. Don't judge this. It got wet when it was in the garage the other day, and it made it look terrible. So I'm gonna. The bad part is basically I'm gonna have to cut that whole panel off right on the edge that I did, and that's what we're trying to figure out, where to go with this. Well, it's Sunday, and as you can see, I gave up around 2:15 in the morning, and I'm still pondering that. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna put the grill on. We're gonna do some stuff that needs to be done. The roll pan doesn't need to be done necessarily. It'll look more complete when it's done, and we'll come back to it hopefully by the end of the day. We're gonna put the grill on, and I think we're gonna go to the store. I think we're gonna pick up some oil. I changed the oil in this while I had everything apart, just so that I knew it was fresh, good oil, because I didn't know how old the oil that was in it was. But I didn't use good oil. I used Advanced Auto Parts house brand stuff, just the cheapest of the cheap. I noticed when the truck gets up to temperature, and I understand that these trucks constantly need valve adjustments and all that, but it's only when it gets up to temperature it gets a little rattly. So I'm thinking it's probably just the cheap oil that I used, and if not, it's a good measure just to go ahead and do it anyway. But we're gonna throw this on there real quick. I'm gonna see if I can scrounge together some marker lights, and then I think we're just gonna zip tie the tag back on and hit the road. I think I've said it probably 20 times over the course of the year. This truck has been taken apart so many times that none of the factory screws were in it, and I keep having to buy screws and bolts and nuts because everything that they put in there was like really cheesy, almost fake stainless steel stuff. A really low grade of stainless steel. I guess that's what I could say. But this is another one of those Amazon deals. You buy a couple hundred screws for 3 cents or whatever it is. Apparently, I don't have a good set of marker lights for this thing. I got these clear ones. One of them is cracked. I got like 3 sets of OEM ones, and they're all broken. I think today will be a good test because I don't know if you could see it on me already, but I'm already dripping sweat and I've been out here for like an hour. But this will be a good test of how this thing does as far as temperature wise, because it's probably going to be hot. Hopefully it doesn't rain because it already says it's supposed to rain next week. I've been riding around with 2 screws in both of the taillights for the last week. It's pretty cool. The amount of times that I've zip tied this tag back onto the truck, I probably could have just finished the roll pan. But it's cool. Part of the thing. Until I get my creative juices flowing, I'm kind of stumped because I'm not sure if it's going to look good if I cut the entire top of that thing off. So we're going to ponder on that while we're taking a little trip, because the oil thing needs to be resolved for sure. I don't really feel like that is necessarily the case on the other stuff. Sorry about all the bugs that you're going to have to look through. The bug population was a little wild last night. So we're going to hit the Advanced Auto Parts. It's probably like, I don't know, 15 miles from my house or so. The more I got thinking about it, and this being potentially who knows how many mile engine on it, I really think I should get some kind of an oil with some zinc additive rather than the house brand crap that I usually just run in everything. So that's the plan. According to the internet, they have it in stock. And if they don't have it in stock, I'm gonna have to go to a Walmart that's like 20 miles from my house. But I guess that's worth it. We're trying to see how this thing does. The part that we're coming up on this back road is probably one of the worst roads in the area. You could be driving a brand new car. Like right now, I don't know how good the stabilization is on that GoPro, but right now, me looking at it, it looks like y'all are bouncing all over the place. So we'll see what it does on this back road up here. We crossed over it last night in the dark, but it felt okay-ish. This is basically our area. A lot of farmland. We're just on the outside of nowhere. You gotta drive about 45 more minutes till you get to nowhere. Where we are is pretty close to civilization. So James, when he was in the truck yesterday, got out his Waze app on his phone. Basically $3,000 in 5th gear is like 65, 70 miles an hour. So I can kind of guess how fast I'm going until I get a speedometer cable, because speedometer cable was nice enough to lay against the header and melt almost all the way in half, at least on the plastic side. So it doesn't work at all. It's pretty cool. The set of train tracks, not terrible. Took that at, I don't know what speed we're going, but we took it at speed. Didn't have to slow down a whole bunch. I would definitely say a moving project is so much better than a project that's sitting, because you can work on it at your leisure. A little different whenever you're working on it and you have to upload a video every Sunday, but for anybody else, you can work on it, you can enjoy it, you can work on it and enjoy it. It is so much more motivational whenever you can take a break when you get stumped on the roll pan and drive to the store because your valve train is rattly because you have one of the worst designed heads ever made on a 4-cylinder. Like I said, if the oil doesn't clear it up, then I'll adjust the valves. But I really have a feeling that a lot of this is because of my my choice of really, really crappy oil. Well, gotta push this little thing, get up to the speed with everybody. This road's like 60 miles an hour, even though it's sort of kind of a back road. I didn't even think about it. We should open up the top on the way home. I haven't actually driven that with that open. I imagine the wind is probably really crazy with that open. So we got the oil. I think what I'm gonna do, because I don't like Fram filters, and that's all that Advance really carries unless you buy a $35 K&N filter. I think we're gonna make a detour over to O'Reilly's. O'Reilly's carries Wix filters, and I would much rather have a Wix on there than anything else if I have a choice. I think that the little bit of power that this truck makes is probably perfect for me, because I tend to drive like a grandma in my older age, because I was really stupid when I was younger. We'll just say that. A lot of tickets. And a lot of them were moving violations. And then after I got into the bag truck, hydraulic truck up and down suspension world, I got a lot of ride height tickets. It was pretty bad. A lot of tint tickets. Of course, when your boy's the tint guy, usually everything you have is just solid black. Hadn't had a chance to do this one yet. But at least with this truck, if you're speeding, you have to you gotta try to speed. You gotta make it a point, because this thing barely gets out of its own way. It runs pretty good. It goes down the road, it keeps up with traffic, but it probably doesn't get very good gas mileage doing it, because it's very underpowered for sure. So the O'Reilly's is another, I don't know, 8 miles from the house. I figured it's a good opportunity to keep on putting some miles down and just see how this thing does. So far, I don't want to jinx it, because we're probably going to end up on the side of the road in 2 minutes, but it's doing really well. Like, first couple times out, brand new suspension in the rear. I mean, this is, it rides pretty smooth for a bag truck with the cheapest shocks you can possibly buy off of Rock Auto. You got to keep that in mind. Well, I was talking crap about the oil filter selection at Advance Auto Parts. Go to O'Reilly's to get a Wix, and they didn't have mine in stock. So I ended up buying one of those expensive K&Ns anyway, but that was only $16 there. So we got a, I don't know. Uh-oh. How'd I tell you? Something would jinx it. I knew it. I said something. Here we are. I don't know what that was. I lost pedal there for a second. That was weird. Oh, doing it again. It's like we're not getting any fuel for some reason. Well, this sucks. Oh, I definitely jinxed it. But that's why we're doing this. It is what it is. Why is it that I can sit here and rev it up, but when I get on it, I don't have anything. That's really weird. I looked, but I don't see anything wrong. It's like it was running out of fuel. Maybe the float's sticking or something. Again, why we're doing this. If it does it again, I think I'm gonna have to get out and maybe tap on the bowl. It'll sit there and idle perfectly fine, but something about high RPMs, it did not like that for a second. No idea. Temperatures are good. Oil light's not on. There's no warning lights on, even though most of the warning lights on these things are dummy lights and everything's too late by then anyway. Secondaries are open. Very strange. I know we're full of fuel because I filled it up last night. I got almost a full tank still. The only thing I can figure is the float sticks, which is weird. It's weird for it to just randomly do that one time. I was gonna stop at the 7-Eleven, but there is a sheriff there. We're gonna keep on cruising. And hopefully he doesn't see me drive by. He is definitely walking to his truck, so we're just gonna head home. I feel like with stuff like this that has dummy lights, when it comes to like oil pressure, it's almost better to not know sometimes, because then it just, you don't have to think about it. Vehicles that have an actual gauge, you can find myself kind of like, oh, check it, like, oh, we're doing good, check it, oh, we're doing good. This, I don't even look at the gauge. I look at the temperature gauge, make sure we ain't overheating, but outside of that, we're just rolling. Well, back at the house, before I went inside and ate lunch and edited, which there's a lot of more footage than I thought there was. This video's already getting long. I apologize for all the rambling. This week was supposed to be what I did the last 2 days. I was supposed to be driving this over and over and over to work out all these bugs that we have now found. And that didn't happen because it keeps storming. So we're trying to cram some fabrication and some bug testing all into 1 or 2 days. So I messed with it for a little while. And it seems like as soon as you turn the truck off and that fuel pump stops running, it seems like it's actually pulling the fuel back out of the fuel pump. I understand that the gravity of the line is just going to relax it, but you can actually see fuel coming back out of the fuel pump itself. And for whatever reason, the filter's dirty. That filter's been on there for maybe 100 and 120 miles so far that I've driven this thing, just doing laps around here, and it's probably not even that much, but it's nasty. Let's see if I can show y'all. I can't tell if it really picks up on camera how dirty this thing is, but it has like a black hue to it, which doesn't make any sense because the fuel tank's brand new. All of the soft lines are brand new. The only thing that's old is the hard line, but the truck didn't have dirty fuel line problems before. The tank was rusty before. I don't know. It's really weird. So what I'm doing, I sourced a fuel pump, which I'll pick up on my way home from work on tomorrow, on Monday. I ordered some check valves to go in line. That way it stops pulling all of the fuel back out of the fuel pump as soon as I shut the truck off, and that little fuel pump doesn't have to sit there and prime and prime and prime every time you start the truck, because it seems like that's what's happening. If it sits for more than 2 days, it loses prime and you got to crank, and that little diaphragm, I guarantee, is not happy. So we're going to put a new fuel pump on it, which I never did. New fuel filter and a check valve. And hopefully that resolves whatever weird issue we got going on here. The only thing other than that I can figure is either the float is sticking. At first, maybe I thought when I shut the truck off, it was boiling the fuel. But after I turned the camera off, coming down the road, I stopped at the dollar store and I might have figured out a problem. Yeah. The choke is literally falling off for some reason. Well, that could be one of my issues if that choke is turning and shutting and bogging the truck down. So I'll dig into that. We're trying to resolve everything. But all I was going to say is I thought maybe I could be boiling the fuel. I stopped at the dollar store, grabbed me a drink, and whenever I left the dollar store, it did it again. The exact same thing it did when we left O'Reilly's. I hopped out of the truck, felt the carburetor. The carburetor was cold. I know we're not boiling the fuel. I know that nothing heat related is happening because nothing in the fuel system is anywhere close to the heat source on the other side of the engine. Everything was cold. Even the intake wasn't cold, but it wasn't like nearly as high of a temperature as, let's say, the head that it's attached to. There's a pretty beefy gasket in between those two, and it's doing a pretty good job of holding the heat out of it. But in all, in the 100 miles or however long it's been that we've been driving, this thing's doing awesome. And I'm pretty excited. And hopefully we can work out these couple bugs by next weekend and head to the show. Who knows what the weather's going to be like. And if the weather's bad, I'm not going to go to the show. I'm not going to force myself to drive in the rain and be miserable all day. Weather permitting, I will be there. I need to do some yard work for the rest of the day. The video's already long. This is like the first nice, less humid day that we've had in a long time. So I need to get the weed eater out and stuff. Do some yard work. I'm going to make up a bunch of stickers. So if you see me at the show, I'll have my sticker book. Just ask me, I'll give you a sticker because they'll be free. And I'm trying to get some t-shirts together. So if you see me there, I'll have t-shirts with me. I'm still working on setting up a website. I'm still working on doing all of the things that come along with selling a t-shirt on the internet. Haven't figured all that out yet. And speaking of that, I wanted to give a shout out to all of my mini trucking YouTube community people. Skillset Ben sent me a sticker pack, which I left in the house. I was going to show y'all. Big old pack of stickers, and it's awesome, and I appreciate it. He gave me a shout out on a podcast, which is awesome, and I appreciate it. Ryan at Basic Bag Works sent me a t-shirt and a bunch of 3D printed stuff, and it's awesome. We've been going back and forth. I got some stuff I need to send to him, and I need to send to Ben. And Brandon at Lower Class Fab, y'all know that I appreciate him and what he does, and he's been giving me some pointers on t-shirt sale stuff since he's just starting out. The YouTube mini truck community is awesome. I appreciate all of y'all. So just wanted to put that out there. And if you've never been here before, I appreciate it if you subscribed. Go back and watch all the other videos. There's tons of fabrication going on in them. I will have the roll pan at least halfway attached to the truck before the show, but I am running out of time. I got a lot of other like random housework things that I need to get done today because this is again, it hasn't been a nice day in a long time. So taking advantage of the weather, and I appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you next Sunday because there's a new video every Sunday, and we'll be going to a show, hopefully next Sunday. And if not, we'll be in the garage doing something.